Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I thought I would talk all about the Secret Realm store and the equipment that's in it at this time, given that I keep getting this question over and over again in a lot of my video comments. So, in the store, currently, you can get a maximum of 400 challenge points and 6 outfit points, okay? This comes from the limited time level of Trails in Time first chapter and from the challenge event level Twisted Fate. If you fully completed both of those, so the 5 challenge missions in Trails in Time and the 5 missions in Twisted Fate and gotten all 15 feats, that is the maximum you can get right now. So 400 challenge points, 6 outfit points. The outfit points can currently only purchase one skin, which is Ruby Knight, Elwyn's skin. I don't particularly want the skin, so that's why I have not spent my outfit points. Similarly, for the equipment, I don't particularly want to pick any equipment right now, so I'm going to hold on to my challenge points and wait for future additional items to appear. And yes, there will be more exclusive items that will show up in the store. So if you don't want any of these items, you can save up your points and wait till later. So, with all that said, let's now go over the 5 equipment items that are in the store at this time. The first one is Errant Knight, which is an Elwyn special weapon. So it's exclusive to him, he's the only one who can equip it, and the effect is attack increased by 10%, and when dealing skill damage, you have a 30% chance to decrease cooldown by 5. This weapon is really, it's quite good, right? Because it gives you this clocks effect. So, if you're using Sword Soul and Frontal Assault on Elwyn, he has a chance to be able to use it yet again the following turn. So that's always a great thing. However, the problem with Elwyn is that he doesn't have much mobility. So the lack of mobility really prevents him from being utilized in PvP. As a result of that, Errant Knight is primarily a PvE content weapon as a result. Since my Elwyn, anyways, he does great in PvE content, I've been able to clear everything. I have no reason to pick up Errant Knight as a result. So that's why I am skipping Errant Knight personally. But it is a great weapon for Elwyn. Next, Golden Lion. Golden Lion is an exclusive helmet for Diehard. And its effect is, when eliminating an enemy on this turn, stun one enemy within 3 blocks for 1 turn after taking action. The ability to stun an enemy has great utility in both PvP and PvE. Okay, if you use Diehard, this is basically a must-have. The drawback is, I don't know anyone who has leveled up Diehard at this time, or have their Diehard with double class mastery. So, at this time, unless you have like a 6-star Diehard that you plan to level up and use, don't get it. Otherwise, you may hold on to your, challenge points and maybe pick it up later. Because Diehard actually is quite a good character for PvP. And the reason he's a good character for PvP is, put briefly, Diehard has the ability to use Strike to move 3 additional blocks, and he has the ability to ignore guard with the Calamity attack. So, Assassin Diehard, using Strike and then Calamity can one-shot a target of your choice, assuming you have enough damage to do so. So that's why Diehard has potential with the Golden Lion in PvP. Let's move on. Black Bride. Black Bride, what it does is it increases hit points by 5% at level 50. And the more important aspect is, before entering battle, inflict 1 random powerful debuff on attacking units. This is actually a description error. What it should actually say is, before entering battle, inflict 1 random powerful debuff on the enemy unit. What this means is, if you're attacked or if you're attacking, you will debuff the enemy before battle begins. Okay? what is this used for? First, because it only applies before entering battle, it means that Lana using AoE attacks like Black Hole and Heaven's Sanction will not trigger its effect, meaning it's useless for an AoE attack Lana. So what it's used for is if you use 2 single target strikes, let's say Dark Reaper and Freeze Lance, and then Magic Defense Intimidate as an example, and you want to kill off an enemy, it will debuff them before the battle begins. And the debuff, because it's random, you may potentially apply, let's say, minus 30% magic defense or minus 20% magic defense on the enemy. If you decrease their magic defense, you're going to hit them that much harder with your Dark Reaper or Freeze Strike. So it's a great armor for a single target strike Lana. Since single target strike Lana is only really used for PvE, it means it's a PvE armor. For PvP, you're probably going to use a Lana with skills like Black Hole and Heaven's Sanction, right? So it doesn't have as much utility, at least at this time. I'm hearing rumors that people who use Lana in PvP start utilizing single target strikes with Breeze enchant to give her some mobility. So take it as you will. Last thing to mention, the armor, Black Bride, combos incredibly well with the Astaroth, okay? Because the Astaroth, what its effect is, when battling enemies afflicted by debuffs, int increases by 15% at level 50. Mine is only level 20 right now. So, and then when attacking, you have a 30% chance to stun the enemy after battle. Lasts 1 turn. The stun effect should never apply simply because Lana is expected to always one-shot targets. However, the main thing of Black Bride is it will always cause the enemy to have a debuff when you use a single target strike. And thus, int will always be increased by 15% when you attack them. So for single target strike, Astaroth with Black Bride becomes her best combo. If you're doing, because that's an additional 5% int, which matters. So that would be the reason to use Black Bride, which is a PvE focused exclusive item. Next is Gorgeous Red. Gorgeous Red is Imelda's special helmet, and don't ask me why something that looks like lipstick is a helmet instead of an accessory. I don't know. But what it does is, after taking action, makes 4 allies within 2 blocks immune to fixed damage, and this effect lasts for 1 turn. This exclusive helmet makes Imelda a good character. Without it, Imelda is rather terrible. With it, she becomes great. And the reason is because of the immunity to fixed damage. Immunity to fixed damage applies to a lot of things, okay? Of particular note, in PvE content, Imelda's Iron Hand effect is considered fixed damage. So what that means is Queen's Gauntlet will no longer cause your allies to lose 10% hit points. They will just get the damage increase benefit without the hit point reduction penalty, which is why it's a must-have if you use Imelda, right? In addition to that, though, other things that are considered fixed damage include, for example, Luna's Faction Buff. Luna's Faction Buff, dealing fixed damage of 15% of enemies' remaining hit points, will no longer trigger, right? If you're facing Listel does fixed damage with her Blood Dance. That will no longer trigger or apply. Zerida, no, Zerida doesn't have fixed damage, but Joshua, right, the new character, Joshua, his AoE attacks and his talent deals fixed damage. So Joshua becomes useless against your party. Who else does fixed damage? I think even Diehard the Assassin, he actually does fixed damage, I believe. Let me take a look. Oh no, nope. Yeah, sneak attack, right? When dealing critical damage, crit hit damage in battle, deal extra fixed damage once after the battle. So that would no longer trigger. So that and in addition to all these things, effects like Ragnarok or Devil's Axe, which also do fixed damage before and after the battle, those things won't do damage to you either. So it basically, the immunity fixed damage is amazing for both PvP and PvE content, right? Just one important thing to note is that Gorgeous Red will only apply at the end of Imelda's action, and it only lasts one turn, right? So your best way to use it is to actually have Imelda move as the very last character in your party. Otherwise, if you apply it, your other character moves. After his move, both of the Iron Hand and this special effect are both gone. So just an important point to note about Gorgeous Red. This also means that for regular arena, if you're trying to use Imelda on your defensive team, it won't do anything, because your enemy will always move first and it'll probably hammer your whole team apart before Imelda gets to move. Alright, so that is Gorgeous Red. I highly recommend this item if you use Imelda or plan to use her in the future. The biggest problem, of course, is having an Imelda that is at 6 stars, minus 4 stars for the record, with 0 out of 100, so not even close to 5 stars. And second, having an Imelda that has double class mastery, right? The runestone limit, as always. But it's an amazing item, and it turns Imelda from a fairly terrible character to one that is really, really good. Last but not least is the Kizuna Band. And the Kizuna Band is actually Matthew's special accessory. What it does is, when an ally is within 2 blocks, increase attack, defense, and magic defense by 10%. So it's a great stat buff for Matthew, right? And it stacks on top of, his bonds of friendship, giving him additional attack and defense. It stacks on top of his faction buff, which increases damage dealt by 15%. It's a great accessory for Matthew. The only problem with it is that I don't ever see anyone use Matthew in PvP. And in terms of PvE content, I firmly believe that Matthew is already strong enough, as he is. You only bring him for, really, attack command and his faction buff for certain fights, right? So given that's the case, I feel that Kizuna Band is a nice to have, but it's not a must-have item. So, in summary, there's 3 items, there's 3 items that are PvE focused: Errant Knight, Black Bride, and Kizuna Band. The remaining 2, Golden Lion and Gorgeous Red, are good for both PvP and PvE. But they are the exclusive items of very unique characters that are rarely used at this time, which is Diehard and Imelda. So that pretty much sums up the current items. And last but not least, it's important to note that there will be more items added to this Secret Realms store as time passes by. For example, I hear that Juggler will get an item, which is almost a must-have for Juggler. There's a lot more items that are coming. So if there's no item that you particularly want, you can just hold on to your challenge points and wait for the future items to appear. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful. And on that note, Nitro out.